Why do so many capable, hard-working managers struggle when asked to think strategically? They meet targets, they manage teams, they solve problems every day. And yet, when strategy enters the conversation, many feel uncertain or out of depth. In this lesson, we'll explore why that happens, and more importantly, how to begin closing that gap. My name is Titus, and this is Strategic Thinking for Managers. Managers today are expected to think strategically. They're expected to see the bigger picture, to align teams to long-term goals, to make decisions that go beyond today's problems. But here's the reality: most managers were never taught how to think strategically. They were promoted because they were good at execution, not because they were trained in judgment, trade-offs, or long-term decision-making. This creates a silent but dangerous gap. Most management training focuses on three things: executing tasks, solving problems, keeping operations running, and these are important skills. But what managers are not trained to do is just as important. They're rarely trained to evaluate trade-offs, to judge long-term impact, or to make strategic choices under uncertainty. So when managers struggle with strategy, it's not a lack of intelligence. It's a training problem, not a personal failure. Task management is about doing things right, meeting deadlines, following processes, ensuring consistency. Strategic thinking, however, is about something different. It's about choosing the right things to do, and often, choosing what not to do. This distinction is subtle, but it changes everything. Many managers believe strategy is something abstract: long-term plans, PowerPoint presentations, annual budgeting exercises. But that's not strategy. Those are tools. In reality, strategy is about trade-offs. Every strategic decision involves giving something up in order to gain something else. If there are no trade-offs, there is no strategy. At its core, strategy is choosing. Every strategic decision answers three uncomfortable questions. What will we focus on? What will we deprioritize? And what are we willing to give up? Managers often avoid these questions because they create tension, but executives are paid to face them. Strategic thinking begins the moment you accept that you cannot do everything. Many managers live in constant urgency. Emails, escalations, operational fires. This keeps them in survival mode. Survival mode is excellent for speed and reaction. It's good for problem solving. But it's terrible for perspective, judgment, and strategic thinking. You cannot think strategically while constantly reacting. Here's a hard truth: executives do not promote the busiest manager or the hardest worker. They promote judgment. They promote decision quality. They promote people who understand consequences. Executives are looking for managers who can be trusted with bigger decisions, not bigger workloads. Here is the first shift every manager must make. Instead of asking, "What tasks am I responsible for?" ask, "What decisions am I accountable for?" This single shift reframes your role, from executor to decision owner. And decision ownership is the foundation of strategic thinking. Strategic decisions always have financial consequences. They affect cost, they affect risk, they affect value and return. Strategy without financial understanding is just opinion. You don't need to be a finance expert, but you do need to understand how decisions move the numbers. Many managers report activities, what they did, how busy they were, how hard the team worked. Executives expect something else. They expect outcomes, impact, value created or value protected. Strategic thinkers speak the language of results, not effort. Strategic thinking is not a talent you're born with. It's not reserved for executives. It is a learnable managerial skill. And like any skill, it improves with the right frameworks, practice, and mindset shifts. If you're a manager who wants to think more strategically, make better decisions, and prepare yourself for executive responsibility, subscribe to this channel. Here, we focus on practical strategic thinking, designed specifically for managers.